Today we are reviewing two different Teslas, one a 2021 and a 2022. What are the main differences if you are looking at a new Tesla? But this isn't just any ordinary Model 3. This one is the one you can rent from Hertz. So let's go over the exact differences between these two cars. Something I did want to mention real quick, if you are considering a Tesla, consider the best accessories down in the description below, from floor mats to all the best accessories down below. So my brother recently took advantage of the Hertz rental program for Uber. And you probably heard about this. You can rent out a Tesla and do ride share or food delivery. Check out his channel. It's called Your Driver Mike, and join 100,000 other team members on his channel if you are interested in renting this car. But as far as features go, what are the main features of these two cars? Let's just get into it. So right away on the surface, you're not going to be able to tell too much difference about these two Model 3s. They both have the same rims on this vehicle, the 19-inch alloy rims, and they actually have different computers inside. This one has the new Ryzen processor, the Hertz model 2022, and this one does not. Now that's not a big deal, but the new vehicles, the Model 3s, will have a faster computer if you have, or you will have, that new Ryzen processor. So this is my Model 3, again, a 2021 rear-wheel drive, and this is actually the same type of car. This is also the rear-wheel drive. And one thing that I did notice here is my panel gaps, you can kind of see it squeezes in a little bit and then it gets much wider as we progress outward. So let's go ahead and check the new 2021 models. It does look like it is much more uniform. You can see there, that's a really good view right there. There is no difference in gap of the hood. Now that was again an area, and especially right here, take a look at this. Look how much this squeezes. That is nearly touching right there. And then you go all the way over here, and that is a much larger gap. So let's go ahead and compare the quality of these finishes. Now it does seem like Tesla has on the 22 versions a much narrower gap here, and it does not, that's a little bit wider, but I don't see much as far as difference in spacing here. So it does look like the panel gaps and things like that on the hood and on the side panel right here have been fixed. So the biggest difference between 2022 and 2021, I really hope, is the paint quality. Mine has 22,000 miles on it. This Hertz Model 3 has around 30 miles on it. It's brand new. Let's look at the paint quality and you can tell me what your results are. My biggest pain, I've done this in videos and shorts, is the paint quality. You can see there, these are actually chips. This is not dirt or anything like that. I literally can't get that off. And here's another really ugly, large paint chip. Again, this one has been driven much more. So let's go ahead and look at the paint quality on this 22 Model 3. Now this does have these. Now what are these? These are the USS sensors. So these measure distance when you're parking, when there's cars in front of you. These will actually be removed in the brand new 2022 and 2023 models. But let's look right here. I don't see any kind of paint chips. You can see, especially right here, because all that dirt and gravel kind of whirls around in this little gap, it's super smooth. I don't see any chips or anything like that. Now again, it doesn't look like a really fair comparison. Again, that looks like more of a dirt mark. There does seem, let's see, nope, that's another dirt mark. This obviously is a brand new car. That one has been driven a lot more. So at least on the surface, from driving this car initially, it does look like it's much more resilient. Now let's compare the insides of this vehicle. Let's go ahead and go inside this 2022 model, and I'm gonna look at the computer on this one. Now on my 2021 version, it has the iron phosphate battery. You will get the new LFP battery. So here is the consumption, the average range. It looks like 211, and then projected is 156. So let's look at a few other things here. This is basically the kilowatts per mile that your car is running. It's efficiency. So let's go ahead and jump in my vehicle. I'm gonna keep it on the default 15 and average range. So take a look at this and then we'll go into my car. All right, let's go into my Model 3. Okay, now we're in my 2021 version. Let's go ahead and turn this air down. And let's go into my energy consumption, 15 average. So right there you can see my average is 285 and 142. The differences in efficiencies, again, this was more towards 215, I think, in the new model. So I'm gonna look up exactly what that means and report it back to you guys. All right, so I did some research on the actual battery comparison. So here's what it comes down to. You see that number, it is 211 in the LFP battery. And then when you compare it to my older Tesla, we'll show you exactly which battery is more efficient. So I found the answer on the energy usage. Essentially, higher is not better as far as the watts per mileage usage. So in my 2021 version of my Model 3, I'm using 285 watts per mile. But on the newer Tesla with the LFP battery, that's supposed to be a more efficient battery, and this is proven when we compare these two. It only uses 211 based on the 15 miles average range watts per mile. So long story short, the new LFP battery is more efficient, and on this given day, if I were to continue driving at 211 watts per mile, that would give me 156 miles remaining on this particular day of charge. These cars are so similar, it's even hard to tell what are the major differences in these two vehicles. Now, the one thing I will say are the seats in the new 2022 feel quite a bit firmer. That's probably because it's a newer vehicle and those seats aren't broken in. But I got into the back passenger seat of my car and the Hertz vehicle because I don't use the back seats as much in my 2021 Model 3, just to kind of compare. And I still thought that the Model 3 had a little nicer seats, so maybe the quality of the interior, I would say, is slightly better in the new version. So starting this month, all new Teslas will have only Tesla Vision. So that relies on the cameras surrounding these vehicles. And my car was one of the first ones to not have radar, which means, again, there's a lot of emphasis put on these cameras. But like we talked about, the USS sensors will be removed. So there's going to be no technology as far as measuring distance aside from Tesla Vision in your cameras, which are not down below here, but actually up there. You can see the main camera here in the Hertz vehicle right up there, similar to my Tesla. So you're not going to have these USS sensors, and a lot of folks were wondering, well, how are we going to measure distances way down here when you're parking with a camera that's up there? So guys, I wish I could do a deeper dive into this video. I do have to go. Actually, I'm crunched on time the day that I had two of these cars. But what are your thoughts? Would you still buy a Model 3? Are you interested in potentially ordering one for rental from Hertz to do some type of rideshare or food delivery program? Or are you interested in purchasing one outright? What I will tell you is my Model 3 is so worth it. And if you are interested in the EV tax credit, which is coming up at the end of the year, we're going to get more information. Make sure to subscribe. And the only way I know you like this content is to drop a like and consider subscribing for more information on Tesla and reviews. This is Matt from Front to Trunk. We will see you in the next video.